It's FIVB World League Group 2 finals time. It's favourites Canada up against the hosts Portugal, live from Matosinhos in Portugal. Well, hello there and welcome to Porto with me, Louis Lett. We have an absolutely mouth-watering tie on our hands this evening. Portugal, the hosts, the underdogs, the team that came into this, well, some said in poor form, others said that Coach Santos was just experimenting for the past few weeks in this World League campaign. And they're up against Canada, a team that have been in fine form. They have won 6 of the 9 games in this World League, 3-0, and they cruised past Turkey yesterday. Portugal, on the other hand, they had an absolute war against the Netherlands and won 3-1 in what is one of the most exciting games that I have witnessed for quite some time. The crowd are making their way into this arena on a day that is very big for Portuguese sport. The man in your picture, Alex, the man who will play as a wing spiker today, was very dominant himself, and Hugo Gasper scoring the majority of the points yesterday for Portugal. Stephen Marshall, number 22 in your picture. It's going to be interesting to see if he starts. He was rested last week and didn't start as an opposite yesterday. Perrin was the top scorer for Canada, the number 2. Joao, Martins and Phelps didn't see as much of the court yesterday. Andre, the number 18, impressed. He was stable, he passed well, and he put service pressure onto the Netherlands. But their main scorers will be Alex and Gasper. Almost ready to go. Canada are in their 5th straight World League appearance. They're a dominant force in North Cup, but coach Glenn Hogue is looking to take them back to the glory years where in 1984 they took a 4th at the Olympic Games in LA, and this year they took a 4th place at the World Olympic Qualification Tournament in Japan. Portugal, their team list is first up. Keeping on number 6, Alex. The libero is feisty. Casas. Gasper, number 16, the opposite, is also one to look out for. Fidalgo, the libero, did have a taste of action yesterday, but Casas, I'm sure, will be preferred again. Canada, the number 1, Tyler Sanders. Perrin, number 2, their top scorer. Van Dorn has produced well today, but don't think it'll be enough to get him a starting point. And the interesting one will be to see if Marshall does start on his return. Remember, Canada are missing Gavin Schmidt for this campaign, who will be back for Rio, we are sure.
Please rise for the national anthem of Canada.
the favourites for this one, have been in fine form, only losing one so far in this World League campaign. Portugal, the underdogs, a surprise package for this World League Group 2 final, but they are here through heart, spirit and determination. The question is, will that be enough? Will the crowd get behind the home nation to spur them on against a Canadian team who are going to Rio and they are building blocks towards performing at Rio? This is not the competition that they are looking to peak for, Canada, but this is the performance that Portugal have been looking for all season. We meet the referees for this one. Brian Charles will be the second referee. Wojciech Maraszek will be the man on the stand. Yesterday we saw Marcel start in the middle, Alex on the outside. There we have it, we do have Marcel, Alex number 6, 14 Fabrizio in the middle, Miguelin is well in there, Hugo Gasper and Andre. It's the same team as yesterday. Canada are the first team to be introduced. Tyler Sanders is the first man out. Perrin, no surprise there. Nicholas Hogue had a good game, so there's your two wing spikers, Perrin and Hogue. Justin Duff, the middleman. Vigras, Ban, the libero, and there is a place in the first 6 for Stephen Marshall. So Rudy Verhoff does drop to the substitute bench. Marshall does start. That's a big call for the coach, reintroducing his opposite man. Casas in your picture, the libero who wears his heart on his sleeve, as does Coach Chico, as he's knowing. Man out is Marcel. Man out is Alex, the captain. Fabrizio, 14, was very good and reliable yesterday. Miguel, the setter. 16 is Hugo Gasper. Andre is 18. And Casas is the last man out of the trap. Casas is pumped. No surprise about that one. Portugal, after winning only 2 games in the group stage, have made the final. Santos was saying that everything was on preparation for this last 4, because as a host nation you qualify as the seed, the number 1 seed. So it didn't matter. All those games travelling around the world was just in preparation for this weekend. Some people thought that they were a little bit out of form, Portugal, but look at how they've responded. They've turned up and they're peaking at the right time of this season, but is it enough to beat a Canada side who will be naming their squad in a very short while for Rio 2016? Ban comes in. The libero. Hogue is not in the pass as it stands, so it looks like Stephen Marshall is going to pass. It'll be interesting to see if Hogue is going to the opposite or whether it is Marshall, and whether Marshall's starting actually as a wing spiker after playing a large majority of yesterday. It is Hogue that does go to the opposite, and it is Marshall that starts defending position 6 and being used in the pipe. Portugal have started with as much heart as they started with yesterday. Andre just stays low and reads that one very well. 3 in the block again for Canada. Hugo Gaspas, that's far too low for Gaspas, so he can't put the ball away. Perrin does make the first point. And if every rally goes on for that period of time, we are going to be here for weeks. Teams playing defense, going around everywhere. Tyler Sander, product of the youth program in Canada, didn't go to college. Alex, he swings from the right, he swings from the left. And he's also destructive on the pipe and behind the baseline. That's a good start. Jumping inside out. Ball is in his hitting window though. It's important as a spiker that that ball on the right side travels across your body, so you either have to get your feet inside it or the ball has to drift across you. Frustration for Alex because Portugal will feel that through his serving they have a real chance to put pressure on Canada. As Canada feel through Perrin that they can do the same as well. Good passing. That's Sanders stays disciplined in defence. Gasper's almost pirouetting, not realising where that ball is dropping. Coach Glenn Hogue, head coach since 2006. Coach Hogue's biggest victory really was for Paris Volley, winning the Treble Crown in 2001. That's the League Cup and the Champions League. Gasper starting as he finished yesterday. Scored 21 points yesterday. Him and Alex doing most of the damage, really. They were very consistent, but also very destructive for the Netherlands. In that last set, they really did show some heart. They were 4 or 5 points down, and they found their way right back into the game. Everyone thought it would go to 5, but Portugal came back to sneak it. Casas in the pass, only 2 in the pass for Portugal. That's a little bit surprising that Alex isn't passing. That's maybe a little bit sloppy from Canada. Marshall not penetrating on the block. Casas and Andre doing all the passing. Alex taking a little bit of a rest, which is okay, but it does put pressure on the 2 passers who are passing half court each. Alex comes through the pipe. That's exactly what we saw yesterday. They're going to keep throwing him the ball. He's a danger man for this Portugal side. The middle for Fabricio, takes the middle blocker away, leaves the pipe with no block. Free net for Alex means trouble for Canada. Out of system, and that's, well, luckily Casas does make the tip. It's well watched from the libero. Hogue this time going through 4. Interesting to see how this Canadian team do line up, because Hogue is hitting from the outside in that rotation and Marshall is playing opposite on the front court. So it is Marshall to serve. Maybe it's just on the back court where they're changing positions. Marshall potentially hitting the pipe attack and letting Hogue attack through the 10. Block and out. Hogue was in good form yesterday, very consistent, very, well, not happy with the team's performance, was saying that they still had more gears to go through. That wasn't the performance they were looking for, but they still brushed Turkey aside 3-0 fairly comfortably. errors creeping in for Portugal. And that's what they can't really afford. This Portuguese side, if anyone was watching yesterday, they really do live and die by the sword. When they're up, and they are huge. But as soon as their body language goes down and they stop communicating, they really do struggle. And it's not as a flamboyant Portugal side as what we saw yesterday. Canada are really putting a barrier up here early on. 8-5, Canada have quietened Portugal's early momentum. Subdued, isn't he, Santos, compared to yesterday? Very animated, enthusiastic figure. And as we've said previously, you can really tell what mood he's in just by looking at him. He's a reflection of the scoreboard, Coach Santos. They're out of system here. Alex on the outside. There is a touch, a deflection on the way through off the block and off of Hogue as well, I think. This man in your picture, Alex, is really the key to the success of this Portuguese team. The fact that they have got Gasper and Alex, who operate on other opposite flanks, do give them enough balance with their physicality. Block from Miguel and Marcel. They're teaming up. And this is not the same enthusiastic Portugal we've seen, but they are very focused. Teamwork makes the dream work. Richo misses his serve. Balance here is at Portugal. Every time there's a mistake, it looks like they've just lost the entire match. They all throw their hands in the air. They look at the person who's made the mistake. Maybe that's potentially a reason why they do go up and down like a yo-yo. Gasper is looking for a decision here. It's not going to go his way. The block of Canada does its job. No touch, and Gasper, who was ever so effective yesterday, misses the sideline by a country mile. Uh-oh, free gift. Maybe there's a net touch. They might get away with this, Portugal. No. Maybe the ball hit the floor before Penn hit the net. To be honest, they can't have many complaints, Portugal. It's scrappy in the pass. Alex is arguing, as we've seen this Portugal side. They really do like arguing with the referee when a decision that they feel has gone against them. Again, 2 in the pass. Actually, Alex is just sneaking in, maybe taking 15% of the court within the pass. It does go to the outside. This time Alex is successful. Casas was the target of a large majority of serves yesterday, and he answered his critics very well. Another misserve. High risk for high reward, Portugal at the moment, and they're not quite getting the rewards for the risks that they're taking, but they know to beat this Canadian side, they have to go after them from the baseline. Better. It's a shoot ball from the setter, finds the middleman. Marcel just whips that ball to the sideline between positions 2 and 1. Ball's always shooting across him. Would be very hard to hit the ball back towards 5. Doesn't matter, he wants to hit it that way. Away from the blocker. And it's a game, small margins. That's twice that Alex has been behind the service line. Portugal will see him as a threat to Canada serving, and he's missed his 2 opening serves of this final. Perrin doesn't miss his, that's an ace. Firing up the furnace from the back line. John Perrin. No panic stations yet for Portugal, but they're 5 points down and there's a timeout called. Maybe they are feeling the heat. It's just cooled down a little bit here in Porto. Last time these two teams met, it was a fiery affair. I'm expecting nothing different this evening. Perrin takes pace off the ball post timeout. It's a good timeout from Coach Santos, trying to disrupt the rhythm of Perrin. Does so very well. Perrin has to take pace off the ball. He tries to roll one short, but Gasper converts that very well. He loves crushing on the angle, Hugo Gasper. He's in the block, as is Andre, so Alex is still on the backcourt. Perrin is on the backcourt too. Marshall commands respect through the opposite position, but he can't get the kill to back it up. Fabrizio fumbling around with that one, but there's a second chance for Gasper. That's high, too high. From Canada through that middle position. It's Vigras that's underneath the ball a little bit, but going over the top of his opposing blocker. Pass drifting well off the net, no middle from Fabrizio this time. Andre drops his hitting arm, but somehow gets a touch off the block. He's in quite early as well. Hogue has got his poker face on. Bit of a contrast towards his opposing coach. You can't quite see him in the screen at the moment, but he seems to be throwing a little bit of a wobbly here. You can see him just in the bottom of your screen, Coach Santos. Always animated. It's a double substitution. We've seen that before. Marco comes in for the setter, the reserve opposite, and then Vialas, the second setter, comes in just to provide three front court blockers and attackers for Portugal. And that is a good substitution as well. Nudging their way back into this one. We're back to three. Again in slightly humid hall, you can see that ball just dipping and diving and ducking around a little bit. It's hard to track. Perrin doesn't want to go back with it. He wants to try and step across it. Oh, almost a bit of deja vu here. Get the technical timeout, and it's a 4-point game. Canada, for many, are too strong for Portugal, but Portugal hustle. They hang in there. Let's not forget that this team have had the most straight sets victory in this World League this year. Coming on 6 of their 9 games, Canada 3-0. Casas again, just in the middle of everything. As we said about the libero and possibly the coach as well, they operate at 200 miles an hour for the whole game, and it's interesting to see how long or how much gas they have in the tank as games progress. Yesterday, they did hit a very low point, Portugal. This for promotion to Group 1 of World League. Holland took the bronze earlier. Good passing. Marco, who's just been introduced, can't find the floor. Judged the ball flight very well there, Marshall, but again can't get the kill. Marco's second time of asking, can't hit the floor, so he goes through the block. Hogue, who took a step in, making a three-man block. There you go, between the middleman, Duff and Sanders. Perrin puts the ball in a very good area from what was good service pressure from Andre. Again, sorry looks. Facial expressions from Portugal. This one is running away from them. They need to find some aces blocks or some defensive plays. Hogue with an absolute rocket from the back line. That one fizzed past me, speed of light. It's a good toss of the ball, and platforms together very early, and the ball's going so fast that that ball gets behind Alex before he even sees it. Timeout taken from Portugal. That's both of their timeouts used already. Coach Santos, coaching Greece, Spain and Peru, but he's worked with Bernardo, the famous Brazilian coach with the women's in 98 to 2000, with the men 2001 to 2012. He's been part of a very experienced coaching team that's won world championships, won Olympic games, and also medals in other competitions as well, so he's seen pretty much everything. The timeout from Portugal does nothing to disrupt Hogue. His father looks on very proudly. Father and son combination. It's a good toss and it's pace off the ball. We've seen that from Heron. Maybe Portugal should have expected that. This time it does go back to power, and Alex is just jolting his arms out, struggling to pass. Means there's two in the block. There's no way past from Portugal. And three in the block, sorry, the second time. And as effective as Alex is, he cannot find a way past this block three. And it's Perrin who covers the most distance to join the action, takes the angle away from the danger man, and then he's off. Alex, the main threat of this Portugal attack, has been taken out already. That is not in the plan here. Maybe to try and disrupt the serve of Hogue. It does work. There is an error, but he'll be happy with his contribution from the back line. Marshall the target. Hogue is again out the pass. Interesting to have the opposite passing and then running the pipe, and actually Marshall is playing at 6 and Hogue at 1. Perrin nipping that point in the bud. Casas puts the ball into a dangerous area. Oh, Joao's just come on. Poses a threat here, but Canada's defense is just unbreakable at the moment. Both teams trying to get 3 in the block at every occasion. Casas is caught napping, I think, a little bit there. His starting position was very high. Vigras. Has killed the 2 balls that he's been set. Better. Joao has made an impression since he's come on. First time showing physicality, second time showing placement, slowing down the speed of the arm, utilising the gap in the middle of the court between block and defence. More substitutions. Marco disappears, Gasper comes back in, Vialas is also out, and Miguel comes back in as well. (22-15), one-way traffic here in the final. Portugal, who really did light it up here last night, have struggled to get going against a really unsympathetic Canadian side. They have just shown why they are Olympic class. 4th in the qualifying campaign in Japan earlier on in the year. Well, fumbles that one, doesn't quite. Bit of a slower set, out of system set. They are victorious, they wipe off the block, I think this time of Perrin. It's been impressive this weekend, Perrin. In every set that they've played so far, Canada, it doesn't really look like they've broken sweat that many times. Maybe, though, Ban scrubbing the floor, trying to soak up the sweat. It's a really awkward serve, that, from Miguel, isn't it? It's almost like a toss of a jump serve, but then the contact of a float serve. Oh, bit of ice, maybe. Here in Porto. Regardless, had a good run here. Just put enough pressure on the Canadians. Glenn Hoag just to put safety first. Almost telling his opposition to sit down before they get too excited. The crowd is starting to bring the level up. Level of noise, that is. Oh, Perrin with a crushing blow, but Miguel turning it into a one-man band there, but second time, once again, Graham Vigras just showing that he's too physical and also too fast for his opposing number in the block there. Marcel he has struggled to keep up. He's hit angle, he's hit high, and then he's hit the ball back. That's not a pretty face from Coach Sanchez. Spreading the play delightfully well, Sanders. Ball's going to the left, he goes back with the overhead to try and make the opposition block, do as much as they can. Joao having a little curse to himself. Frustration. Grass is proving to be a real danger man through the middle. One thing maybe missing Gavin Schmidt is that really the team have had to improve. The setter has had to link up more with other options, not just rely on flipping it to the same man. They have set points. Philippe comes in, serving substitution for Marcel. And really it's just meant that the cohesion of the team has maybe improved, and then you bring in Schmidt, and possibly that's your 5th gear. Maybe that's where you go when you need to score. There you go, first set is finished in pretty sloppy style. The substitution comes in and misses the serve. Perrin and co have bullied Portugal so far, and this is not the same performance as we saw last night. Yes, the opposition has gone up. They're ruthless though, Canada. They love winning 3-0 and they take that first set, 25-19. They're subdued, Portugal. This is not the same intensity or communication that they displayed last night. So Canada take the first set, 25 points to 19. More aces, less attacks, but more Portuguese errors. Canada have scored 10 points through the errors of Portugal. They have made more blocks as well. One thing that's different about Portugal is they haven't really shown the same belief as they walked out into the same arena last night against the Netherlands. They had a certain demeanour about the way they were acting, the way they were communicating, and unfortunately, much to the credit of Canada not allowing them to, Portugal haven't got out of that first gear. There is a long way to go yet, though. Andre looks like he's going to start again. Which is good, he didn't do much wrong. Be interesting to see if Alex comes back in. Strange that the main danger man was taken out halfway through that first set. Maybe to be rested, but he's still sat down on the subs bench. Jason Duff is the man standing at the top of your screen. So he'll start again. Sanders has almost played every single point in this World League, so he's probably not going to be removed either. And again, the Portuguese faces just tell the story every single time. Absolutely no poker faces from Portugal. They're either happy or they are sad. No in between. Well, the setter starting, but we'll probably see him removed again for a double substitution. I can see Federico, Marcel will be starting in the middle. Libero Casas is coming in. Andre starts with Alex. Miguel, the setter. Pennon is in, Sanders is in for Canada. Danger man through the middle, Graham Vargas, who's been very high, very fast, and taking the game away from Portugal. Marshall again starting opposite, but probably will play a little bit in the backcourt. That's position 6. Hogue, who has been a threat, is also in. Justin Duff is the man who will serve. Serving the front court receiver. Marcel does a little bit of beating on the opposition of his own. A bit of a slower tempo through the middle. Not quite in the air when the ball's in the setter's hands, but he's hitting it on the way up, and he's quite a nice angle there. First point on the board for Canada. Combination leads to frustration for Gasper, who hasn't been able to manipulate the game as much as we saw last night. Alex, though, who didn't have his finest first set, just absolutely thrashed one down the line. And he gets his first jump serve in the game. He missed his previous 2 in the first set, and that makes a difference for the rhythm of this team and the momentum and the confidence and the noise and the communication that they can create between them. Can he get Portugal on a roll here? They need it. They need to put Canada under pressure. They haven't felt any yet. That's an overpass. Struggle City, the setter. They're looking for a handover here, but the handover is called against Sanders. This 23-year-old didn't go through the collegiate system. He decided to stay in the performance program. Completely in your right. You're not allowed to block the setter in volleyball, but if the ball does go over the net, you are completely entitled to score, as does Alex. And this is the difference. We mentioned in the first set that Portugal rely on this man to build momentum and to take the game to the opposition from the service line. Ban and Marshall just look at each other. They say, you take it. No one takes it. Hogue steps into the pass and does take a little bit of responsibility, and that takes the pressure off of Canada. The ball crunching into the netband also means that the game is slowed down, and sometimes works either way, but most of the time means that the passing unit are allowed a bit more time. Portuguese crowd are starting to roll over and wake up. I think the whole of the nation set their alarm to snooze for the first set, but they're getting there. Marshall is aggressive, but the block does its job and slows the game down. But then the Canadian block does its job and kills the point off. Hogue is a very, very serious customer, isn't he? Look how high he is, almost shoulders over the net, penetrating, getting in the face. Sanchez again, living and breathing every moment of this campaign. Possibly a lift. Is a lift given. Smiles for Canada. Not allowed to drop your hands in the set. Really, duration of the hand contact. It's more of the height of dropping his hands nearly underneath his chin. It's got to be quick here, Miguel, to get the ball out. He does go to the outside, but again, Andre's really early with his approach. It means that if he is out of system, he really struggles. This time it's better, the ball is in front of him. And that is cheeky from Andre. Frustration for Graham Vigras. When there's three in the block, it's difficult to tell who's going to cover the tip in defense. Justin Duff, error. 4-point game. Portugal have started to come alive here. Errors and service pressure are starting to nudge away at Canada, and they're feeling a type of pressure that they haven't really felt, not only this weekend, but for the whole season. They've only lost one game. Strange to see Hogue taking so much control almost of the timeout. He is not a happy customer at the moment. He's making that known. He's not really angry, but you can tell with the passion and the enthusiasm that is coming out of his mouth and his body language that tells a big story. That Justin Duffy plays his volleyball in Benfica alongside 3 or 4 of this Portuguese team. Has got the point this time. We saw that yesterday from Sanders. The middleman hit out, made an error or got blocked, and then he gave the ball straight back to him. Says, here you go, have another go. Casas just not too bothered at the moment. And Federico storms back with a fast attack through the middle of his own. Good passing from Alex. He really, after a wobbly, nervous start, has started to compose himself and really start to control the game. Potential foot fault there, maybe against Marshall, but not. Must have taken off behind the white line. Maybe just flirting. His left foot was very close, but it is behind the line. Danger time for Portugal. Hogue's jump serve is an absolute weapon. You're going to have to put your crash helmets on for this in the service receive. Really interesting to see that when a team managed to side out against a server who's seen as a threat like Hogue. Frustration for his father, but relief for Portugal. Running very quick. And when they're in system, Canada, they can speed the play up. When they're off the net and you're out of system, you do have to set higher, give your spikers time to run the play. Marshall is playing at 6. He sweeps up well. He's quite high for a 6-man. No respect. We saw that yesterday from Miguel. Usual tactic on a free ball. Just dump it on the setter. That's what Marshall tries to do, and then he almost bites his fingers off because he knows he's made a mistake. Miguel's just hunting for it. Love to see that aggression. Uh-oh.
Coach.
Where's he from? The linesman calls it out. Everybody in my team sees it out.
Sorry about
It was out.
that. Look, this is my decision, and I'm sure it was in. Goal is in.
Perrin says his whole team saw it was out. It's tough to see from that angle. It looks like it might have just been long. Referee Marashuk, the man on the stand, does get the final say. One thing that you can't complain about is that this is a different Portugal side, and it's one that's really shaken and possibly stirred Canada. They weren't tested this much yesterday from Turkey. Said yesterday that this Portuguese side at times suffered from volleyballing bipolar. We're seeing it again. It was a lackluster first set. The second set is getting better. It's like Jekyll and Hyde stuff. Perrin does well to create an angle. It's really good. It's quite hard when the ball's always travelling away from you to cut it off and send the ball into the setter. He does it well. Verhoff, who started yesterday, is coming in for Marshall. Perrin's good pass really made it easy for him in offense. Verhoff's first job is to try and block Gasper. Gasper wins that duel though. More service pressure. The ball almost hits the ceiling. It's so high. Casas reads the ball well. He sees the tip and he gets in to make the dig. 5 on the cover from Portugal. No one gets the dig. Big blocking. Shadows cast over Portugal here. Look at that. No chance for Andre. He would cover the ball if he was in there, wouldn't he? Sanchez. We almost expect him to run on and make a dig of his own soon. Free ball really should be another point to Canada here. They have to be careful. Portugal have done all this hard work. They've lifted the service pressure and they've really nudged this Canada side, but that man there, when they can get him in the game, Vigras, is key to their development as a side. Let's have a look where Alex is within the rotation. He is on the backcourt, so a slight issue that they're not going to have their best server serving, but they do have him through the pipe and he does score. That was important, that, to keep a 4-point lead and not allow it to get to 2. Miguel does well. Excellent stuff from the middleman, Marcel, trying to drag the middle blocker with him to leave that pipe attack open. You'll see that the middleman trying to go on the reverse is going to try and take the blocker so that Alex on the pipe has got a clear view through. He did that time. Hogue. Makes hay. Again, it's Gasper doing the tooling this time, and they can spread the play around. They're effective. Gasper on the right side, Alex through the pipe. Andre isn't letting anybody down either throughout this set, and they still keep a breath of fresh air between themselves and Canada. Perrin pops the ball perfectly. Look at the fire from Justin Duff. Lands and then just erupts. Look at that. Not the smoothest arm swing through the ball, but effective all the same. He's high, he's physical, and they really are too high and too quick in the middle so far, Canada. More blocking. Casas does cover the ball this time. Gasper on the right, and he is roofed. The ball goes straight down, lights out on Gasper. Hogue, who just lets his eyes linger over his opposition as he lands. We are back to 2. Coach Sanchez wanted to get to that technical timeout. He didn't want to call one himself. But with Alex on the backcourt, they're struggling. Verhoff with the ball in hand. Two main passes for Andre and Casas. There's a lot of pressure on Andre because not only is he passing, he's also, well, he's passing on too, but he's also spiking. Alex does get back involved in the game and scores on the pipe. Smiles again for Portugal. It's a 3-point game. They lead at the technical timeout. I think the key to this one is Alex is coming to the front court soon. And Gasper does go very well on the 10 attack as well when he's at position 1. Still smiling, Canada, not quite feeling the pressure yet. They will still feel that they have lots of strength in depth. Justin Duff, playing against many of his teammates from Benfica, will feel like he has something to prove, and there's an extra 10% in this game. Marco comes in, Gasper is out, Gull is out as well, so it's just a double sub. Marco is on the front court, this is on the back. And Alex has just made his way to the front court, so key stage of this set. Perrin puts the ball in the perfect area, and Duff, stop him if you can. Could almost have 2 Fabricios in there and you wouldn't stop that. It's like a tank. Again, we talk about relief when somebody misses a serve, and you can't describe how you can see Casas' face, how relieved he is that he doesn't have to pass that serve. From Hogue. Sander, quick ball to the outside, it's off their head, someone has to react. The only person reacting was Vialas. Marco got caught in a little bit of no man's land underneath it. Had no idea where that was. Sanchez throwing his toys out the pram again. Casas puts the ball in a perfect area. Maybe not quite as perfect as I originally thought. Ball's a little bit too tight, so then the set that follows the pass is also tight to the net. And some untidy play means that we're back to 1. Alex tries to tool off the block because he realises that he's so tight. Ball's tight to the net, the blocker just has to go and try and get over the ball. Alex again has got 2 on him, he's shrugging his shoulders, he's not happy, the danger man from Portugal. And we're all square again. Big celebrations from Canada. They're doing it the hard way, but they're doing it well. Casas still tight to the net. Alex is out of sync as well, out of system. Agonising stuff. Portugal have worked so hard throughout this set, and then they have just slammed the handbrake on at the worst possible time. Miguel comes back in. Double substitute didn't work. They need Gasper on court, I think. Just giving him the extra 10%. He's back on the pipe attack. That's 3 in a row, and just cannot afford to give up runs of points against this really determined Canadian outfit. Casas is very good. Marcel, not the easiest ball to hit that on the reverse. Canada are just wearing Portugal down here. Just not giving up on anything. Perrin makes the best of a very bad situation there. Ban doesn't mind, he's in the middle of everything. Casas passing off the net, there is no middle, but Gasper is on the outside. There's a net touch somewhere. First referee says no way. The point goes to Portugal. Another tick in the box for Gasper. Finding the gap between block defence. Maybe Hogue would want to step between the 2 blockers to just absorb the ball in that gap, but not that time. This is a huge time. Can Alex find rhythm? Bam puts in a great ball. But Graham Vigras hasn't been stopped until that precise moment. Marcel is all over him like a rash. Gasper stepping in, going with the block as well. Portugal, 2 in a row, have just started to eke their way back into this. Entertaining stuff.
O oposto tá atrás. Lembra, Alex? Não dá nada, ei, o oposto tá atrás.
Alex, passionate as ever, talking to his setter. Alex doesn't learn from his opposition post-timeout. You saw that Canada were just a little bit more resilient post-timeout. They would take pace off the ball and try and make the opposition play. Alex still goes hell for leather and misses. Whereas Perrin is just commanding proceedings here on the front. We see him make the best of a bad set, and there it's almost like a bit of a hubby-wife serve, causing issues between the libero and Alex. They both just look at each other up and down from shoes to eye. Both unhappy with each other. Andre needs to find a side out, he doesn't. Casas just lifts it to Alex, but good from Perrin. He's just defending the back line, sweeping everything up. He's a shrewd customer, Glenn Hogue. Very calm. Maybe a timeout. No, the libero's getting called straight back on. Bam was trying to get off the court. Alex with the tip. Ban is still running around, but this time it's in a good way. He manages to get the tip. Casas is just as good as his opposition libero, though, with the hard hit. Sanders goes quick to the outside. Hogue does the rest. Fired up, Canada. They love winning 3-0. They've always been behind through this set, but they've not given up the ghost, and they have just ground away. They're grinding, and Portugal are slipping here. They can't keep with the pace. Now there is a timeout from Sanchez. It's a shame for Portugal. At times they have competed with their opposition. When push comes to shove, Canada just go up another gear. Can Portugal hold it together? Perrin does take pace off the jump serve from the back line, and it just allows a little bit of in-system play from Portugal. Philippe comes back in. Marcel makes his way to the substitutes bench. Philippe came in as a specialist server in the previous set and could only serve into the net. Let's see what he can muster up here, because they really do need him. Twice Philippe has come on as a specialist serving sub, twice he's missed. Sanchez looks like he's a bit confused and he's walking around, he's frustrated. This is not happy times for Portugal. Better, the block does its job, slows the game down. Sanders has a chance to take the set away, he goes straight to Duff. Duff has been on fire, but he can't convert that time. Not so pretty, probably a little bit low in the set, but Fabrizio does well just to tip the ball around Duff's block. Gasper has been instrumental in Portugal's weekend, but he needs something special now. He's gone short on Perrin. Somehow Gasper's pancake keeps the ball alive. That's unbelievable effort from the opposite man. Chance to convert, but not taken. Second chance to convert, they go to Gasper. And there's some chase from Hogue. What an up that is, almost into the advertising board. Third time lucky maybe for Portugal. It's Gasper again, and he fires long. Persistence in defense from Hogue definitely pays off for Canada there. That was an unbelievable pickup. Gasper had 3 chances, one from the baseline, 2 in offense, and that one, the hand contact wasn't good enough. He didn't get over the top of the ball. Canada go 2-0 up here. Portugal were fighting hard, but it wasn't enough. 25-22. This game is getting better and better. Maybe shows us that there's a long way to go in this one yet. we have a look at some statistics from the second set. Much better from Portugal. They're the underdogs for this one. Error counts the same. More blocks from Canada. That's key. It's a 3-point game, and they made 3 more blocks throughout that stage. Portugal up the heat from the service line, mostly through Alex, but it wasn't enough. Canada are matching the heart and spirit of Portugal, but they're also oozing a little bit more class when it counts. Chance for the substitutions to warm up. We haven't seen that many. Don't know how many tricks that Coach Sanchez has up his sleeve. On the side, Andre is receiving some instruction. You see Joao warming up on the side. He did make some impact. He's warming up with the second setter. Fabrizio, the middles are working better for Portugal. Perrin, the top scorer, and Alex, top scorer for Portugal. So we get ready to go again. Looks like the same. Hogue's in, Duff is in. Looks like no real change. Actually, there is one change for Canada. You can see that Rudy Verhoff is in, the opposite. Maybe that's a rest for Marshall. I'm trying to see Marshall now, I can't quite see him myself. Perrin stays in, the top scorer. Middles are the same. Figueras. High fives all around. Alex is in, Marcel is in. There is a change. Marco is in for Gasper. Playing opposite. Alex out at 4. Miguel the setter, so the same. And also Joao is in as well. Andre takes a rest. Maybe a little bit of a last throw of the dice for the coach here. First serve goes long. Once again, Coach Sanchez, you can't quite see him in the screen, but he is just, every decision, everything that happens, he's on the edge of his seat. Better serving. This time from Sanders. Oh, off the shoulder, out of play. Nice start. Miguel finds his middleman. Portugal side out. Nice passing from Alex. Now that Andre's out, an interesting concept to see if Portugal still decide to pass with 2 passes or whether they go to 3. Regardless, Ban has just put that on an absolute sixpence with that pass. The shoot ball, Figueras really taking Marcel that time. Job of the setter to really run the offense. Try and run the ball around, but also run the blockers around to try and keep your outsides and your pipe with as fewer blockers as possible. Free ball for Portugal. Sorry, for Canada. What Portugal can't afford to do is give too many gifts here, otherwise their body language is just going to sap. Their communication between each other is going to go. And Perrin is going to take full advantage of anything that's scruffy, anything that's untidy. And Canada are going to run away with it. Pass is high, but it's also wide. There is no middle attack. Joao unleashes, but he lands as if to celebrate, but everybody in the whole stadium, I think, realises that the ball was nowhere near getting a touch on this block. Perrin is bringing all the heat from the back line. Joao has dug again, so that's twice he's had the chance. Neither time he's put the ball away. Marco, though, they are so desperate for every decision here, Portugal. Smiles between him and Hogue, but look, he turns around as if to celebrate, as if he's blocked the ball on the floor, but it's a mile away. Everybody knows that's nowhere near being a kill block. Timeout call from Sanchez. That is not the Portugal that we came to know and love yesterday. The crowd are quiet, the players are quiet, and the coach is quiet too. Actually, no, he's ranting and raving at Joao. He doesn't really seem that interested. Can Portugal up their game? For times in the second set, they were in charge. They were pulling the strings, but consistency is killing them. Marcel just turning around in a little bit of a strop because he knows he's just been blocked out. The ball's a little bit too high, possibly he's in a little bit too early. Casas isn't happy. Substitution is made. Vilas is coming in and he's trying to up the mood on court. He's trying to bring some energy, and it's something that they really need. They just need something from somewhere to spur them on. Otherwise, this World League campaign is over for them. And Canada, who are building towards Rio, take the gold and the promotion as well. Marcel again pouts and leaves the court. This has not been the performance that they wanted so far. They're playing the favourites for this competition. Better from Marco. Does find something from somewhere. He goes down the line, takes a defender well and truly out. Graham Vigras is going to be out in a moment anyway. Sorry, he is out now, the libero is in. Hogue, commanding as ever, physical as ever. Technical timeout, Canada lead by 4. Body language is dropping, there's gasps for air from Portugal, deep breaths. They know they have it all to do if they want to take gold in promotion to Group 1. Canada were not overly happy with their performance yesterday, although they brushed Turkey aside 3-0, saying it wasn't the level that they're coming to expect of themselves. They are looking to peak for Rio. The selection hasn't been made for Canada yet. The only nation to name their side has been the USA. Casas. They're off the net against. There is 2 blocks on Joao on the outside. There's a scramble at the net, and even that goes the way of the smaller player who has to push up on the ball, so it goes off the hands of Joao. Vilas the front court setter, has only got Federici and Joao in his eyesight here. He's got Marco on the opposite, Alex on the pipe, and then they rotate round one because of the serve is long. Andre is coming back in, potentially because his jump serve is more potent than Joao's. You see a high toss from Andre, and then he's going to see the peak of the ball and thrash through it. It's a very good serve. Rare passing error from Hogue. Big smash of the hands together. Better from Portugal, but they need more. They need to be a little bit more robust in everything that they do, whether it's from the baseline or in the block or in defense or even just in their pass and running their offensive plays. Better from Andre again. It's a good substitution from Sanchez. He knows exactly what he's getting from his squad, but that is just needled in from Hogue. It's been impressive over the last 2 days, the Canadian number 4, and this is an absolute cannon of a serve, and it's an ace from Hogue. That's 2 in a row from the big number 4. At that pace, with that placement, Alex had no chance. Again, snatching at that one, Andre. Marco has absolutely no choice but to try and hit that one as hard as he can. They're so out of system. There's nothing left here for Portugal. This game is running away from them, and Canada are not letting up here. They're not taking their foot off the accelerator. Again, they're out of system. Hogue serving is causing all types of scenes here. And it's Hogue again on the pipe, but good defense from Portugal. This could lift their spirit, surely. And they finally get the point. They do hustle. They do keep trying, this Portuguese side. Perrin, the top point scorer for Canada throughout this campaign. Nice from Sanders. The pass drags him quite straight. So he really does open up the play by finding Verhoef. The block obviously has to go with the play. Just stretching it out to the opposite player who does the rest. Hogue is looking like the real deal this evening. Serving, spiking and playing defense. Unfortunately, he doesn't make that one, but he has been on fire here in Porto. Vilas. More points for Canada through Perrin. Marco, the substitute, spiking the first one out at 4. Alex will be at 2. There's 3 in the front court now for Portugal. Off the head, take a bit of that, but that is desperation in defense from Canada, and it's exemplary for anyone watching at home. This is what makes them such a tough nut to crack in this World League. They're playing with class, but they're also playing with so much heart and desire. They're not letting anything hit the floor. Alex is wagging his finger around. Vigoras is looking puzzled. The point looks like it has gone to Portugal. You can see why there was some There's potential lift there, but maybe it was a bit of a closed hand from Perrin. No problem with the second touch, that's for sure. And no touch off the block. Alex needs to find some gold here. He's been digging away all evening. Running out of chances, Portugal, and this man from the service line can make some points, but it's too long. They have got 3 in the past now, even though Andre is in. That's because it's a jump serve. It's risky business to go on 2 with a float serve. Sorry, with a jump serve. Valas doesn't quite get his feet around the ball, but he does find Marco, and there is 2 in everything that Canada do in defence. They're just all over everything. Not that though. Marco comes through that one like a truck. Body weight goes through the ball, his feet pinned to the inside of the ball line. Ball flight even. That just there just shows everything about this Canadian side. They're physical, but also they are so well structured in defence. They know their roles and responsibilities, and they execute them very well. Service pressure is on point. They're throwing everything at this Portugal for the last, potentially the last set. Marco, shut down. Not even any celebrations really from Hogue this time. Lights out on Marco. Hands on their head stuff for Coach Sanchez. Great finish in the air. If you look at the structure of the block, there's no gap in it, but also the finish of both hands pointing back into court. Hip just coming round as well means if that's any part of Hogue's body, it's going down. Portuguese hopes are fading here in Porto. Canada have bullied their way through this World League group. Deserve to be in Group 1 by the looks of it. Many teams have tried, but most have failed. Martins is in. Stays in even though he has served now. Marcel makes his way off. Canada still have Duff, Hogue and Veerhoff on the front row. That's a big front line for Canada at the moment. Perrin is on the back court. We might see him on the pipe. Marco is at position 2. Federicio is on the front court too, as is Andre. They don't go to Andre, they use Alex. That was a quick tempo, fast play from Portugal. Alex finds the gap between the middle blocker and the opposite man. But this is where they need points. They need to score from the serve. The block gets Luvians. That might do. No, it's well reacted from Sanders. The setter does well to read that. And Hogue just crushes through one off the block of Fabrizio, and the ball just hangs in the air for what seems to be a lifetime before dropping. Fabrizio not getting over the top of that one and closing the block. 6-point game. Overpass, should be another Canadian point. And net touch maybe against the setter, yes. Tries to celebrate, but he doesn't get the decision. Referee Brian Charles from Trinidad seeing the net touch on the left hand of Vilas. And a sloppy service error from Veerhoff. It's a Canadian team that have only lost 1 to Finland, and that was 3-2. Some fine individual performances from Sander, the setter. Van Lankveld, who hasn't seen the court this weekend, in this experimental campaign from Canada. They've been pretty blunt, saying that this is very much preparation for the Olympics. They came 4th in Japan in the qualifying event, and as we said earlier on in the programme, Hogue wants to take this team back to its glory days, where he was a player when Canada got 4th in LA in '84. 2 service errors in a row makes it pretty dry. France and Italy are the only other teams who have won almost as many games 3-0 in this World League campaign. Perrin, 3 again in the block, but looks like it's Alex who doesn't close out, so the ball cannons off his inside hand. So he's quick, but Alex was too late, actually, Alex. Facial expressions again telling another 1,000 words from Coach Sanchez. Blankenau comes in. Justin Duff, the man who is based in Benfica, plays his volleyball in Portugal, is out. Sanders comes back in. Van Langveld, just a quick cameo appearance, as was Jay Lankenau. Passing from Alex. He's doing a bit of DIY here, but he's shut down again. Perrin gets the block and then lingers his eyes over his opposition as well to say, I've dominated you. And that one, he's a danger man, and Canada really haven't allowed Alex to get going. That's again good blocking, a good finishing position. 3 points will do it for Canada to become World League Group 2 champions. And it has been one way all evening. Portugal did cause issues in the second set. A net touch, really, really untidy now from Portugal. Again, the body language is telling us everything. Belief is gone, and I think they're waiting to get off the court. They're trying to get off as quick as they can. Sanders does go long. They need a miracle now. Alex could be the man to provide it, but the odds are well and truly stacked against him serving 9 or 10 in a row, that's for sure. Perrin, Ban and Hogue in the pass. Another error brings up match point for Canada. They have been tremendous this evening. They have not allowed this home crowd to get behind the team. They have not allowed Portugal to lift the spirits after last night. Marco fires long. Canada win gold. They win Group 2 here in Porto. Celebrations commence from what is a team that have only lost 1 game just to Finland within this whole campaign. Portugal, who struggled through the groups, winning only 2 matches, were peaking for this tournament. Maybe they used up all their energy yesterday. They were really blowing apart from Canada. Hogue, Perrin ran the game from start to finish. And there is a happy coach, Glenn Hogue. Said trying to get them back to the glory days. But there you have it. Canada win World League Group 2, 3-0 in straight sets. Joao made some impact when he came in. But Canada are celebrating. They're going to Rio, and who knows where they can go. Definitely not one of the favourites for a medal, but on their day, they are a very, very classy act. Disciplined, physical, bring some heat from the baseline. Who knows where this campaign can take them this year. Hogue is stepping away at the end of this season, but I'm sure he wants to leave with a bang. Portugal are growing under Sanchez, who's in his second stint as Portugal coach. But unfortunately, this Canadian team was one step too far for them tonight. Statistics, 3-0, 25-15. More aces for Canada, more errors from Portugal, and more blocks from the Canadians too. One-way traffic as we head down courtside to hear from Nicholas Hogue. Sorry, Nicholas, a better performance from yesterday?
Much better, I think. I think we put a lot of pressure on our serves, and they put a lot of mistakes in their serves, which helped us a lot, especially in the beginning of sets, and that's how we were able to come up with a victory.
Obviously, a gold medal in Group 2 is very important for you, but the building is now for Rio.
Yeah, exactly. World League, we took World League as very seriously. Even if it's Group 2, we wanted to win it all, and we won Group 2. That's what we wanted, and we obviously worked on things during World League to be prepared for Rio, so we're going to keep going on that run.
Awesome. Enjoy your celebrations and good luck in Rio.
Thank you very much.
So a much happier Canada. They win gold here in Group 2, but they are building very nicely for Rio. Canada win gold here in Porto, but from us, there's just a slight pause. So Canada take gold. They played with heart and physicality. They take gold, but from us, from Porto, it's goodbye for now.